his kink is to get choked out by Joe Rogan.
Okay. Like, who the fuck is a genuine fan of JoJo Siwa?
It's all a bit. There's a lot of lesbians who started dating men. And like, that's a recession indicator for sure.
Welcome to Doom Scroll Diaries, the best of the worst on the internet. A weekly roundup for y'all. I'm May.
And I'm Laura. And man, we're recording this early in the week and the news is already popping.
It really is.
This will come out next week, but we're recording this before 4th of July. So happy 4th. I hope you guys all got American flags tattooed on your ass or something.
I know I
lines.
did.
I'm sure I will. Now that this is in my brain and I have a couple drinkies, I'm going to be wandering New York looking for someone to do that to me. But anyway, so we have a couple different stories. What's going on in your life right now?
Oh my goodness. Not much. We're going home to the Cape. I'm bringing the baby. It's going to be wholesome as fuck. I'm so excited.
That will be wholesome.
That's pretty much it.
Give the baby like an ice cream. Can I have that ice cream yet? I just imagine but like a little just like have him hold it like as a picture op.
Yeah.
Like a photo op, you know?
Yeah. I know. I was thinking about that. I was like, I guess I'll give him ice cream. And I was like, I cannot have one of the first flavors he's ever tasted be like crack cocaine for him.
That's so
that would be insane.
True, actually, because he's be like,
yeah,
this rules so hard.
You want me to go back to carrots? I don't fucking think so.
A beet puree now?
No, thank you.
I'm okay.
I'm good.
But thank you.
Thanks so much for offering. I'm going to say no.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I will give him, though? I want to make steak tips, and I want him to hold the steak and then suck the juices out of it.
Wow. Okay. That's so hardcore. That's so Liver King of you.
Yeah.
Okay. Which is one of my stories. So
it's supposed to be good for him.
I guess so. Makes sense.
I mean, yeah, it gets him used to the meat flavors.
Oh my God.
I'm like pushing meat on this kid.
Well, I have a steak right now you can take back for him because I went to a steakhouse. Like famously, that's all I do for my job. I go to steakhouses with clients. And I went to one on Monday night and I had a bad experience.
Oh, yes. Okay. I know about this story, but tell the viewers.
Guys, steakhouse in New York City, that's supposed to be like a pretty classic thing. And the place we were going was for my job. It was a nice place, right? Allegedly a nice place. I'm not even going to name them because they were really nice like when this happened, but I'm pissed and I'm not going back there.
Okay.
I'm sitting there. It's like this big deal client dinner. These people are all in from like all over the fucking place. We're trying to like show them a good time, you know? And I'm sitting across the table. There's like 10 people. Directly on the other side of me, there's a wall like this, but it's wooden behind one of my clients. And I'm watching a cockroach crawl across for like a while.
Oh my God.
And it was one of those things where I noticed it and I was like, oh, maybe it'll like fuck off pretty quite fast. And like, I still hate this, but I'm not going to say anything.
To
like
the client.
Like fuck off bug. And then it like wasn't. It was just hanging out.
Oh my God.
Like we were just having dinner with the cockroach.
No, please.
He was like pulling up a plate. And I was like, oh, okay.
This is a New York City version of Ratatouille. I'm sure there was a Ratatouille backstage
I'm
too.
Sure there was.
Backstage in the kitchen.
I'm sure there was a Ratatouille in the green room ready to come on out with his cockroach buddy, the next Pixar flick. No, so literally this cockroach is just sitting there and I'm like, I have to do something. Like, because my client's going to turn around and like lose her goddamn mind.
No, it's insane.
As she should to an extent. We're not at a dive bar, folks. Like we're at a nice ass restaurant.
Yeah.
So I like get the guy to come over and then like a bomb squad worth of waiters like approaches with this little broom and like brush it into there. And like somehow the clients never noticed.
Oh my God.
And then they go to me and they go, we're so sorry. It's a water bug.
That doesn't make it any different. The water bugs look exactly like a cockroach, by the way.
It is not a water bug. It was not a water bug.
Ew.
Don't try to dress up your cockroaches to me and sell it to me as water bug. I'm not an idiot. Like it was a cockroach. And it's okay. I understand. It's disgusting. I understand in general though, like it's a city.
Yeah.
You're gonna see a bug on occasion. However, when I'm spending 4 figures on a meal for clients, I do have a hard line.
I am hoping not to see one.
I'm saying
in the food, around the food, on the walls, anywhere.
In my line of sight.
Yeah.
You know, in the trash room in the back, I would hope no, but I understand it might. Also, I'm like, where's the health letter code?
Right.
Where's that one? I assumed it was an A. I looked at the prices and I didn't even think to check. I said, oh, that's a lot of money. I'm assuming they're clean. Not the case.
It is also so funny how you have to be so careful about those things. Like, I remember there was this restaurant in Boston and I went into the bathroom and there was a mouse in the bathroom and I was like, oh, fuck. Yeah. And I came out and I was like, we got to go to my friend. And she was like, why? I had to like wait till we got out on the sidewalk. I was like, there was a mouse in the bathroom, but I didn't want to say that and then like have the restaurant go under. Yeah. Or like have everybody in the restaurant be like, ew, you know?
I know. And you feel bad. And I like felt bad for the wait. The waiter's like, oh my God, you gotta be fucking kidding me. You know what I mean? Like he's working his ass off. Trying to make a good experience. And I'm like,
I know.
Listen, buddy, I really am so sorry. But like we do need this to stop.
We got to address this guy right here.
We got to get this guy off the wall.
Yeah.
We really need to. And he was like mortified.
I'm sure he was.
And then they brought us over a tray with quite literally 10 different desserts on it.
Well, you know what? I can't eat those desserts. It's a bunch of cockroaches in there.
Yeah, I was like...
Ew.
We did eat the desserts. But it was actually like way too much. I was like, okay... I get it. You feel bad.
Now we're just wasting food.
This is why you have the bug problem, because you have to throw this away now.
Too much food.
And it's in the back and the bugs are like, well, we're going to have some of that. Of course.
Yum.
Yeah. So that was my chaotic ass experience.
Lovely.
At this why did I start talking about that? Oh, because you're going to have Van eat some steak.
Oh, yes. We're going to have Van eat some steak. So that'll be fun.
Yeah. Well, I've got the leftover steak from the cockroach place if you'd like to start it early.
I am so excited for Van to just experience a New England summer.
It's so cute.
Yeah.
He's going to be a little man.
I know. He's my little angel.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, let's see. What stories do I have here? Speaking of, I know we had a little clip go a little bit viral about Pedro Pascal and his co-star Dakota Johnson. She's in the news recently because she says that she needs 10 to 14 hours of sleep. That is somehow newsworthy.
First of all, you need to see a doctor. Is what you need, Dakota. Yeah. That is not okay.
That's a lot of hours. 14 hours?
What are you, a cat?
No, that's crazy. That's why her and Chris Martin broke up. He's like, I never see her. We're both busy people, and she's literally sleeping most of her life.
All of the time. Can you imagine? I need a full horse tranquilizer to sleep 6 hours.
Yeah.
That's it. And
yeah, but you my body's don't sleep. You're like Trump in that way, where Trump famously sleeps like 4 hours a week.
It's weird.
Or something crazy.
But then I wake up and I'm like tired, but my body's like, yeah, it sucks. Get up.
Yeah, God bless.
God bless. Good luck to you, girl. Yeah. You're never going to feel rested. You're just up.
I have not felt rested in years.
Well, you do have an infant.
I know, but like, you know what I mean? Even before him, I've never been rested in my life.
I don't think it's possible to get a good night's sleep in New York City, if I'm being honest.
No, I'm actually really looking forward to being in Massachusetts because that is where I am conked out.
The aura here is too energetic.
Yeah.
Just even in my apartment, I'm like,
yeah.
We're doing things.
What are we doing?
Someone's clubbing.
Yeah.
Someone's clubbing.
Someone's clubbing out there.
Someone's clubbing.
It's not me, but someone.
I can sense someone's clubbing.
Yeah. It's so funny. Like, I have like a little bit of anxiety today because of events that happened that I can't speak about on the podcast that are
nothing serious.
Yeah, nothing serious, but like whatever.
They were like, oh no.
Yeah. No.
Rein it in.
It's like, it's very silly and menial. But the point is like, I'm feeling the feelings of anxiety and I'm like, oh no. And like, we're so like take a pill kind of people in America in general. I'm like, I guess I need to go on medication because I felt anxiety one time.
Versus your body's just like, yeah, that's right. Part of it. It's
sometimes
okay.
Sometimes when you objectively do a really bad job, sometimes you get anxiety about it.
or just, you know, like life is anxiety provoking on occasion and that's like our normal response and that's okay. Oh my God, I just saw this like beautiful, maybe I'll send this to you. Maybe that'll make you feel better. Jon Stewart clip where he's talking about suffering.
Oh, really? No, I have not.
So I cried. I was like, where am I at in my fucking life right now?
Okay, getting your period. Like,
here's the crazy part. I'm not.
Wow.
So I was like, must take a pill for that. No, but he just talked about how he is very grateful for the suffering that he's had in his life. And I think it was like Anderson Cooper or someone was talking to him and is like, what do you mean by that?
Yeah, right.
Come again? And he goes, oh, there's like all these really, beautiful moments that I obviously love in my life and my family and all these things I'm so grateful for. But I love my life as a whole. And that includes elements where it's not going to be as pleasant and things that continue to challenge us and like make it like this big tapestry of wonderful moments and then not as great moments. And I'm grateful for the contrast and like a range of emotion I get to feel and I'm blessed to feel. So,
that's nice.
It was so nice. I was like, it was a good point.
Yeah.
When my Salesforce updates are bad, I just going to think about that. It was a really great clip.
If I never have to be in Salesforce ever again in my life, that'd be a win.
Yeah, well, it's your job. So
it's true. It is my job. So
what are you going to do? Yeah.
What are you going to do? Anyway, I do not have the pleasure of sleeping 14 hours a day. Maybe that's why Dakota Johnson is so successful. She's just sleeping away any anxiety.
Is she an Nepo kid?
Sounds depressing.
She sounds like she is depressed.
She sounds like she's depressed.
A symptom of depression.
Yeah, it really is.
This is a call to cry for help. She's crying for help on this interview and they're like, wow, so inspiring. She's like, I need help. I need someone to intervene.
I know. I can't believe her and Chris Martin were, speaking of another engagement, we talked about Katy Perry and Orlando Bloom being engaged for like 6 years. They were also engaged for like a gajillion fucking years.
Really?
Chris Martin and Dakota Johnson.
I'll bite. Who's Chris Martin?
He's the lead singer of Coldplay.
Oh, got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Got
so
I know him as lead singer of Coldplay.
Right. He's pretty fucking hot.
Yeah. All right.
So anyway. This podcast has just been, it's now just a roundup of who I find hot and who I don't find hot.
And I'm always here just like non-committal. I'm like,
right. I'm like, Idris Elba, pretty hot.
Yeah.
That's my hot take. No one said that before.
No one has ever had a hot take. No one has thought. When you say they're not hot, though, people come for our throats. So watch out there. Jesus Christ. The gays were activated.
Okay, what's so funny is that every woman in the comments was like, agreed, he's not hot. Why are they trying to push him on us? And every man was like, he's the sexiest guy I've ever seen in my life. And I'm like,
you're a gay man.
You're gay.
It's okay. It's awesome. It's great. And I think he's just not for my gays.
Right.
Because I'm a straight woman.
Yes, exactly.
Whatever.
But stop trying to make him for our gays. That's the problem. It's like, I'm not saying that he's not cute to somebody. I'm just saying like he's not
generally
leading
attractive.
Man. Yeah, but he's not leading man. That's all I'm saying. Anyway, we're going to move on from that topic.
Yeah, no, we're going to get skewered again. We're going to get skewered again. I cannot.
Okay.
And I cannot take it anymore.
I can't take it.
I can't take it more, actually. But let's do a new topic. Do you have any more on Dakota or is she just sleeping 14 hours?
No, that's it. She's just a sleepy bitch.
It's crazy.
I love that for her.
Well, how about this? Speaking of the steak we were discussing earlier, you remember that guy Liver King?
Of course I do.
Of course you do. This man, he is from Puerto Rico and I think he lives in Texas or like in the fucking mountains somewhere.
Yeah,
he's a fitness influencer that is famous for, he had this diet for a really long time that was like all natural meat based.
Yeah.
He ate raw organs and stuff.
It's so gross.
And it was like, I think it was called, he lived on these like animalistic trends or something. Okay. He had like 9 different challenges for himself. And that was, he believed, kept him really, really healthy. Not to say, he does look homeless.
He does look homeless. He looks mentally unwell.
Well, I think you're onto something there because he was arrested last Tuesday. The Liver King, whose real name is Brian Johnson, traveled from Willis, Texas to Austin, Texas, where Joe Rogan is based, and filmed a video for his Instagram in which he challenged Rogan to fight on social media.
Oh my God.
I'm going to go ahead and pull this video
Was he trying to pull an Elon Musk? Remember Elon Musk was always, he was like, oh, Zuckerberg, fight me in the ring and shit like that. Maybe he was trying to just like drum up publicity.
I'm sure there was an element of that to it. But it really was like, it was weird because I'm very surprised they went ahead and arrested him for this. Like, or I want to hear your take. I'm going to play this for you real quick.
Okay.
On Studio Cat Hair.
Yeah, I did see a little bit of like he was actively making threats. Oh my God, he looks so scary.
Kind of, yeah. If you're just listening, we'll put this video in.
Okay. Everything. Because Joe Rogan, we don't have to make videos to pretend anymore. all of this is happening. We're coming to you. I've challenged you man to man to a fight.
Oh.
Honorable. And we don't have to pretend or make any videos. The world is watching. They'll make the videos for us. And you don't have to hold a camera. You can hold the hand of somebody that you love, because what happens next to you, you're going to need to remember that feeling. You're going to need something more than what you did to give you something to fight for, because I have my family to fight for. And I'll die for them, you know that. And you're a black belt, but you've never come across something like this. Willing to die, hoping that you'll choke me out. I pray to God, because that's a dream come true. It feels good. And
Feels
then the limbs,
good. Wow.
I'm fighting for my family. So limb. Go ahead. But then you have to contend with something else. And I weigh 177 pounds. An actual
That's
savage.
Yeah. I'm like,
And so at first you're like, fuck that guy. And right? When you all of a sudden he did get your attention, which I already did before this, you're saying, I'm going to choke that motherfucker.
Oh,
that piece
man,
of fucking
okay.
shit. I'm going to choke him.
Oh
out.
my goodness.
That's what warriors do.
Ooh,
You and
wow.
MGK are good
That
warrior
was really
boys.
uncomfortable.
Good
I
warriors.
think you get the gist of it at
Yeah.
this point. It keeps going for about a minute. It's all along the same veins of just him making repeated threats that are weirdly, it was like sexual energy. To that.
Yeah.
Like a little like kink situation. I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy, but when he was like, what did he say?
You said choking out feels good.
Feels good.
I mean, that's definitely kink.
His kink is to get choked out by Joe Rogan.
Okay.
Which, all right, 2025, baby. I
God
guess.
bless.
Anyway, he posted this video, and I don't think Joe actually even knew about it initially, but his fans were like, yo, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And reported it en masse, and then the Austin PD actually went and arrested him.
Wow.
And under terroristic threats.
Yeah. I mean, you can't, I don't know. There's a lot of death in there, too. It was like,
Yeah, and it's a public figure where I'm sure he could figure out a way to find him at some point.
Yeah.
People in the comments did bring up a kind of dark point where they were like, okay, but what happens? So why can you arrest this guy, which we agree with, but then when an abused woman has like threatening messages from her husband or something along those lines, he needs to actually do something before there's an arrest. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it was a little like, okay.
That's a really good point.
For you, but not for them. Like, it's not really even kind of deal.
Yeah.
But also, I think that this probably needs to be handled. So
Yeah,
I would argue
yeah.
both of those
Both
situations
of them need to be handled. Yeah.
But how crazy. Like,
No,
so
that's
this
nuts.
man, like, if you remember, he was saying he was all natural for a really long time. He didn't, he was just fueled. He's jacked because of the raw liver and all that bullshit that he was eating.
Yeah.
And then it came out 2 years ago that he is on a shit ton of steroids.
Yes.
So,
And it was like a big scandal. And it's like, guys.
I mean, come on.
Guys.
This man is mentally ill, but he sells, like, he makes his money selling supplements.
Oh my God.
Which is crazy because I'm
Who was
like,
buying these fucking supplements? Like,
I don't know. Honestly, the Joe Rogan community probably
Yeah,
has a
that's-
fair amount of
yeah.
people where I'm like, this is kind of weird.
that's true.
The
I mean,
overlap here.
wow. He looks so deeply unwell. His beard looks like it has not been washed. What's going on? What's happening?
He eats only raw meat.
Ew.
It's not good for you.
Ew.
I'm sorry, buddy. It's just not working. He also doesn't believe in sunscreen. Like, he thinks the sun
Yeah.
exposure is good for you.
Yeah. There's a lot of that now.
People are really trying to push that.
People are really trying to push that. But it's funny, like, Mark is anti-sunscreen. He's like never worn sunscreen.
Great. Well,
Whatever.
Enjoy laser treatments in like 10 years.
But I have some friends that are like super holistic and like just they've always been incredibly healthy. They're like the type of people who eat to avoid cancer and not eat because of calories kind of thing.
Wow.
They're like, yeah, I'm like, what?
I'm like drinking my caffeine-free diet.
Yeah,
Dr.
of
Pepper. I'm like,
course,
it's
of course.
crazy.
Like would not be caught dead with that shit. And it's like California people, you know what I mean? And I brought up
Enjoy being 95.
but I brought up I was like you can't put sunscreen on babies until they're 6 months or whatever, and she was like, well, sunscreen in general is like really bad for you. So like it's just like across the spectrum.
It's
I
like
would
the
say.
new thing.
It's
which
the new thing, I guess. It's like bad for you.
What's crazy though is I'm like, I can make peace with the fact that you're right. Probably some sunscreens have stuff that's not great for you. And especially some of these American ones that are like.
Definitely.
Like
American anything is bad for you.
Right. However, we for sure know that extended sun exposure is bad for you.
Yes.
That is confirmed. People have gotten the cancer.
Yes.
You look like shit. Like that we know. We know. It's not like a debate. So you're going to choose this other version?
I guess they're
with
choosing.
Maybe.
I guess they're choosing big ass hat and umbrella.
Okay.
You know, I guess that's
fair
what they're
enough.
Choosing.
Big ass. To be fair, big ass hat I think is probably fine for you.
But here's what I'm going to do: sunscreen plus big ass hat because I am afraid of aging.
Yeah.
How about that?
Put a little sunscreen on. And I like a little sun exposure, but I think it's like everything, like little doses.
Yeah, little doses.
Little doses. Take a vitamin D supplement.
Yeah. Ooh, God.
Yeah. My vitamin D in the wintertime is like negative.
That's a thing that all New Yorkers have a vitamin D deficiency because I remember I had it throughout my pregnancy and I was like, is this bad? And they were like, you just live here.
Yeah.
Sorry, it just like is what it is.
That's what's happening. Yeah, I had like none. They were like, well, this is why you're a little sad.
Yeah.
You should take some vitamin D.
Yeah. Okay, so I'll get into another topic.
Yeah.
Okay, so you guys might have seen that JoJo Siwa has made the news again. This woman she's like trying to be good at PR like the Kardashians, and it's like really not working. But she's been in the news again because she said, this is the headline that said that she was pressured into saying that she was a lesbian. She now is dating a man, and she's saying, I was pressured to put a label on it as a lesbian. So I saw this and I was like, what is this story?
Right. That
checked it out.
Not like, what do you mean you were pressured?
Like by her team to be like, this is cool. People will like this kind of thing. So that's what she's alleging it was. But now she identifies as queer. So she's like, when I was younger, I just had to put a label on myself because my team was like, it'll be good for publicity and all this stuff and da-da-da-da. And then now she's queer.
But okay.
It's really not that different. But I mean, sorry, maybe it is. But
it's not that different. I'm sorry. Even if you're a lesbian or queer, you're not straight. And for 99% of the world, kind of in the same fucking camp right there. They'll be like, isn't that lesbian? I honestly don't even, I guess queer is just like do whatever, right?
Yeah.
More options available. Like man, but it's not bi.
But it's not bi.
So it includes
non-binary.
Wouldn't that
be pansexual? Fuck. You know, there's you guys, we're doing our best here, honestly.
I think we're beyond. I think
we really are. Like, yeah, they get it.
If that kind of thing you don't like, this is not the podcast for you.
It's whatever, guys.
It's not the podcast for you.
But we
are putting a good faith effort forward.
But I found it interesting that she was like, for whatever reason, people were like, you have to label yourself lesbian because you're having these feelings. Or maybe she was just like confused. She's really young. She's only like 21, 22 years old.
I don't feel bad for her. Fucking figure it out, JoJo. She made a lot of money off those lesbians.
Lot of
money off
that's
those
the
lesbians.
Thing. Like,
so
I'm
like, okay.
Well, that's the thing that's happening is like, you would be delusional to say that like, I think Chappell Roan, for example, like I think she caught more attention and stuff because she wasn't like a straight pop singer. Yeah. So I think like
a lot of her art is around being a lesbian.
Exactly. And same with JoJo.
Yeah.
A lot of that, like
what does she even do? She has one song, Karma?
I guess. But Karma was all about lesbianness.
Was it? Karma's a bitch.
Yeah. And it was like
running through the lyrics.
The whole music video was supposed to be this scandalous thing where she's like making out with girls and all this crazy stuff. And it's like not scandalous literally at all. But in her mind, it was.
Right.
I
think she's just a stunted young woman.
She is a stunted young woman. She is a troubled young woman. She has no idea who she is at all.
None. And that is tough because she grew up in the public eye, which is, you shouldn't. That's not okay for humans.
No, it's not.
It's really not great for your development.
Being in the public eye, period, is like pretty awful.
I don't love the whole saying that she was forced to be a lesbian. Maybe her team was putting pressure on her. Who knows? But I don't love like the impression that gives of like what being a lesbian is.
Of course, yeah.
It's not like shut the fuck up, JoJo. Go deal with that internally. We don't need to know about your shit.
Yeah. And also like, no, we don't need a big explanation as to why you're dating a guy now. It's like, okay, you're dating a guy, whatever.
You have one song.
Yeah.
You were on Dance Moms. Like, I don't need to know more about. Like, go
Right.
do an art. I'm so sick of people who are famous just because they're famous.
Yeah.
And don't like do something.
Yeah. No, she sings poorly. And she kind of dances poorly. Can we say that too?
She's not a good dancer.
She's a very bad dancer. She's offbeat quite a bit. Her rhythm, like her movements are so harsh.
Which is tough because she's been doing it her whole damn life.
Yeah,
so,
like what's up?
Let it go.
Yeah.
Let it go at a certain point. Karma was also a ripoff. It's not like she even wrote the song.
It was also a horrible song.
Horrible song. Crazy that they selected that for her. All of it. I'm very sick of these kinds of artists, or not even like people.
Yeah. Who else would you put in that bucket?
A lot of the reality television people, though.
Yeah.
At least and I guess you could kind of put her on this too. She was on reality TV and was entertaining in that effort.
That's true. Actually, I forgot she's a reality star. Is what
she's a reality star.
Yeah, yeah.
But she keeps trying to like.
So you mean like the Ariana Madixes and people like that?
I don't like it.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
Yeah.
Or how about this? I don't like it when they're like creating problems and they're trying to claim being an artist. I don't know if Ariana Madix does this. I don't think she does, but she's like, I'm a fucking reality star.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Versus like being like, nah, I'm a singer.
Yeah.
You're not. You didn't get famous for being a singer.
Yeah.
You're not good at it.
You are not good at it.
People who are very good at singing, and those are like, do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
It's like when they come and do stand-up comedy and you're like,
oh my God, boy, do they ever.
And that's a very extreme, like there it's very extreme where you're like, oh, well, that was terribly done.
And it sucks because they have, at the end of the day, it's like, how many butts can you put in seats? And they put the fucking butts in seats.
Exactly.
And, like,
and I think that's probably part of the reason I'm bitter. It's because we do see a lot of reality stars come through and like try to do stand-up. They do a bad job, but they sell a lot of tickets because people are like, oh, I want to see. I keep saying Ariana Madix, but I don't think she does stand-up.
No, Ariana Madix just hosts Love Island, which I think is actually perfect.
That's perfect.
She's doing her second act really well.
That's
I think.
perfect.
Yeah.
That's exactly the kind of shit I'm like, you would know that for. That's great.
Yeah.
Go do that. JoJo Siwa should be like the mom on the next Dance Moms or something.
Yeah.
That would make sense.
That would make sense.
But I don't want to hear you sing. I'm good.
No, you know what's so interesting is that she's always like talking about her fans and stuff. I'm like, who the fuck is a genuine fan of JoJo Siwa?
It's all a bit.
It's all a bit.
It's like irony. You know,
yeah.
It'd be funny.
It's camp as fuck.
It is camp.
Mm-hmm.
And I just don't like that she's like, now all these, I mean, the lesbian portion that like got her a lot of fame.
Yeah.
And now she's like turning on this community or like trying to make it weird.
No, I agree.
I don't like that.
I think it is really funny though that there are so many artists that like Billie Eilish, you know, whatever. Who else is dating a woman or a man? There's like
there's a lot of lesbians who've started dating men. And, and like that's a recession indicator for sure.
Yeah.
But
that's really funny. But this girl, friend of the pod, I've only met her once, but I saw this on her Instagram. I was dying laughing. Emily Wilson, check her out.
It is a very funny video.
So fucking funny. She does this. She's a really she's actually a really great singer, but she was she was on
voice.
X Factor and shit. So she's like
good.
I didn't know
that.
She's like very good.
Why does this comic have such a good voice?
No, she's like really good.
Excuse me.
But she did some parody of female lesbian singers. And check it out. It was absolutely hilarious. I shared that on my story for one day. It was the funniest thing I've seen this month. Honestly, it was amazing.
It was pretty funny.
Yeah.
It was pretty funny.
So anyway, God bless. That is a lot of pressure though. Like imagine if you think you're a lesbian and you're famous for being a lesbian, and then you're like, oh, I'm actually not feeling. I'm feeling like this guy now. It would be like kind of a mind fuck. I can appreciate that.
Yeah. I guess I wouldn't release like a thing like I'm pressured to like, oh, okay, like I've continued to evolve.
Yeah,
person.
Sure. But like, you know, I think she's trying to say that. Is she just being JoJo Siwa about it where it's just like rage bait?
I think she's trying to sell something.
Yeah,
and is trying to now appeal more to conservative people who could be like, I told you. But I don't know.
Really? I don't know.
That's my conspiracy theory.
Maybe.
You know what else is? I think Taylor Swift is leaning more on the country, like right-leaning stuff, because I think she's going to release a country album.
Oh, yeah.
Wants to sell to those people.
True.
Everything's a conspiracy theory over here.
At a certain point,
none of them are authentic.
Like, you know, there are no ethical billionaires or whatever people say. I'm like, why would Taylor Swift even do anything for money at this point? I'd be like, I just want to create exactly what I want to create, and I don't care if it sells or not, honestly, because I have $1 billion.
Yeah, you'd think, but
You know.
and I mean, she has not done any of this yet, and I'm like,
Yeah.
but when she does, and let me just box this ghost once again. Once,
That's what we do here.
I think they just get addicted to being
On top.
in power, and having their names talked about.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know,
Ooh, I mean,
which is
listen, I would just sign off and I would go enjoy my life somewhere with all of my dollars.
Yeah.
And I would make music privately and I would give the songs to artists I like.
that'd be cool. I bet there's some people that do that.
Oh, yeah. Maisie Starr, she has a bunch of music that's never been put out because she just like didn't like the limelight and she just quit.
Oh,
Yeah.
I don't know her.
You know her. She's like the fade into me. Da, da, da. Yeah. She had that like banger of a hit and now she just like lives in obscurity.
Wow,
It's pretty badass, actually.
It is pretty badass.
I fucking love it.
And funnily enough, we don't hear much about those people.
Yeah. Because I loved that song and I was like, what's she up to now? And I've not, that's where I learned all these things. I
Oh,
was like, this is,
cool.
and she's just like an old lady now. Not old, but like, you know, she's like 50 something.
Isn't it like Enya who bought herself a castle?
No, I didn't know
yeah,
that.
I'm fairly certain she like bought herself a castle outside of London and just like lives in this castle.
I love
and
that.
she's like not married.
Amazing.
I'm fairly certain it's Enya, which makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
She would.
Right.
Dude, that album that she had back in the day was great.
It was really good.
It was
Ooh,
great.
ooh. Chilling.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Touched.
Okay, so well, speaking of artists, maybe I'll talk about Diddy.
Oh my God.
This just came out, so when we release this episode next week, I hope there'll probably be more developments and like a bunch of takes on it. So this is just like something that just happened today, and this is our first iteration of a take. If we have the wrong one, I'm sorry. But he got said to be not guilty of sex trafficking, but was found guilty of transporting women who were being sex trafficked. I couldn't even make sense of how the verdicts came. I'm going to go back to my document here. Combs was found not guilty on racketeering, conspiracy. Sure.
Racketeering.
I don't know.
What are
I
we
still
doing?
don't
I don't
totally
know. I'll
understand
never know.
that one. So I was like, okay, sure.
Yeah.
Combs was found not guilty of sex trafficking of Cassandra Ventura. Combs was found guilty on the Mann Act transportation of Cassandra Ventura.
All
is
this is
weird.
Cassie related, specific
Yeah.
to her? Oh,
No, then there's another one. Found not guilty of sex trafficking of former girlfriend Jane, so anonymous, and was found guilty of transportation of that same former girlfriend Jane.
Wow.
Isn't that kind of weird, though, that you
Yeah.
were found guilty of moving
Right.
trafficked women around, but not of trafficking them?
Yeah.
So now his like max sentence is like 10 years.
Are you serious?
I'm dead serious.
Oh my God, that's so disappointing.
It is really disappointing. Maybe I'm not understanding something about this process, or I don't know, maybe there's appeals. I'm not really sure. But I'm pretty surprised.
Yeah, I'm pretty surprised too. And I am and I'm not.
He's so rich.
Yeah.
But then there was all that drama where his like lawyer quit and stuff like that, and I'm kind of
at the end,
he's
right.
wealthy.
Like at the end of the day, like Harvey Weinstein and all of them were also extremely rich and they went to prison for what they
Right.
deserved to go to prison for. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Yeah, he was very relieved, apparently. They were also saying, and I think this was from NBC. Yeah, NBC was saying that the jury, I think, was just going to get sick of it by the end. The quote was, "You could tell that there were several of them that were not buying what the prosecution was putting forth in their arguments. I saw some roll their eyes. I saw some even fall asleep.
Oh my God.
Some clearly not buying what the prosecution was saying in their closing arguments."
Wow.
If you fall asleep, you don't get to be on that jury anymore.
Yeah. How are you falling asleep in the most exciting case ever? Are you
They've
kidding
been
me?
there forever.
They have been there for a long time. But still, I mean,
I hear ya.
we are talking about sexual abuse from celebrities. What is
Yeah.
boring about that?
Come on. Well, I guess to be fair, anyone who would be interested in that, they probably didn't allow on the jury. They were probably like this like MTA driver or something like that who doesn't know anything about this case and they're like, I just need to get back to my trains.
That would be so difficult to source a jury for that. It's like, who the fuck doesn't know P. Diddy?
It would be exactly
right.
These people who are sleeping 14 hours a day or something.
I guess so. Dakota Johnson.
Dakota
Get up
Johnson.
in there.
Exactly.
That's unhinged.
I know. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah. No, that's like really super disappointing. But hopefully justice will get served in some other way. Like there will be new charges that come up or something. Because it's like, it's not over. It's not over.
I feel so bad for Cassie.
Maybe he'll get Epsteined because he knows too much about Hollywood.
I mean, it's been this whole it keeps being compared to Epstein for 2 years or something like that now.
Yeah,
crazy.
I want to know more about the Epstein situation.
You and the rest of the world.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't know.
A hot take. I think we should see that list.
I'd like to go ahead and pop my eyes on that list.
I want to go and see. I don't think it's going to be surprising.
No, definitely.
I feel like it'd be just like exactly the folks we thought.
Yeah, I would think
like
so
when
too.
I hate to say it, when Elon and Trump were fighting over the weekend.
Oh yeah, we didn't even talk about that.
Yes, because they passed at least the first round of the big beautiful bill.
It's big, beautiful.
It's full of tax cuts for them, so not surprised. But anyway, beyond that, they were fighting a lot. And if you recall, a couple weeks ago, Elon said he was going to reveal the Diddy list and that Trump was on it.
Oh, wow. The Epstein list.
Sorry, not the Diddy list.
Yeah,
Sorry,
yeah.
I was thinking of Diddy.
Right.
The Epstein list, which is 0% surprising.
Yeah, of course he's on it.
Yeah, so we're all like... Yeah.
Right. So is probably, obviously Clinton,
probably the Clintons,
Biden, everyone.
It's kind of like embarrassing if you're not.
No, it's humiliating if you're not.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Of course.
It's crazy. Speaking of somebody who really wants to know a lot about a lot of things, there is a woman who has been called the most jealous woman in all of the land.
Oh. Is it me?
It's the world's most jealous woman, and she is a British woman who forces her husband to take a lie detector test every single time he walks in the door.
Huh?
So she has it set up.
It sounds like a lot of effort.
A lot of effort.
You connect it to your the heart nodes and stuff like that.
This is the couple in question. So she's a little worried.
I think no one's coming after your boy. If you're just listening to the pod, he looks like a rat. This man does.
Very, very sad. He probably is very sad. But yeah, he has to take a lie detector test every single time he comes home, even if he just stepped out to buy groceries. So her extreme mistrust doesn't stop there. She checks his emails, bank statements, phone, banned him from watching TV ads featuring women, and even used filters on his laptop. She has something called Othello syndrome, which is a form of delusional jealousy. And she's also dealing with bipolar and body dysmorphic disorders. Jeez. So anyway.
I mean, I'm sorry that she has all these medical conditions, but this also sounds like an abusive relationship.
It really sounds pretty fucking abusive. I don't know.
I think that is.
I guess he must enjoy it.
Maybe.
Which is a sexist thing for me to say. Because if a woman was under this kind of scrutiny, I would be like, she's a slave to this man.
Rescue her.
With him, I'm like, he fucking likes it.
It's his
freak.
Kink.
Yeah.
It's his kink.
I really do believe that, though. I'm like, it is his kink.
It probably is. Yeah. Well, you know what? If it is his kink, that's great. If you know this man, go check on him. I think we can say that. I think if you are friends with him, maybe time to have a beer with the guy and be like, hey,
what's up? What's up with your lady? Because I don't understand this.
Need to check in here. Make sure you're feeling good about this. Why are you hard right now? It's like, I'm about to go home. Okay.
Yeah.
I guess you're doing all right then.
Not watching ads with women. That's the funniest thing I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah.
Who is this queen? I love it.
That's so hard. With the YouTube ads, you can't see these coming. What happens? Does he get lashes? Does he get kinky whipping?
Probably.
I think this guy's happy. I think he's doing just fine.
That's actually the most healthy relationship I've ever heard of.
They're very honest with one
They're
another.
very honest. She's like, this is what I need from you. And he's like, tell me more.
He's like, yeah, okay. Too much. Well, do you have any others? This one will be a nice one to end on, I think.
I have one more.
Okay.
So the other one that I have is that there's a new dating app that's going to match you based on your search history. First of all, who the fuck would hand over their search history to any sort of database?
But here's the thing.
I guess it's literally search history, so it's already in a date. But you see what I mean.
The thing is, that would be the most effective dating app in the world, I bet.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
it'd be like your real shit.
Yeah.
Like not just like, oh, I like to travel. I love cooking meals for my loved ones. Like, no, I watch hardcore porn. Do you also watch hardcore porn? Here's your search history.
My search history is literally just like, how do you know if you're depressed? And then it'll be like, if you looked at this up, maybe.
Yeah. You'll be paired with another person who might also be depressed. But you know what I mean? Like, it's like your real interest. Mine's like birding in New York. I'm not going to put that on a dating profile, but it's going to be like,
oh my God.
It's going to be like, she looks up birds in New York kind of a lot.
Yeah.
Connect them.
Mine's always just like this actor's wife, this person's wife. How old is this guy?
She likes pop culture.
Yeah.
There you go.
That's it.
So has it launched? What's it called? Do we know?
Let me see. It's an experimental new dating site. I think it's called Search for Love. Oh, that's clever.
That's a clever name.
Yeah.
I'm bullish on Search for Love.
I think it is right now in Europe.
Europeans get all the good shit.
I know. Actually, I feel like they're usually behind
on the dating app stuff.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. I'm just thinking of food.
It's €9.
I'm like, Europeans get good food.
They do have good food.
It's kind of surprising that they can do this because there's all those like privacy laws in Europe where like none of the websites can collect any of your data and stuff like that. That's why we have all those. Yeah. You know how you have to accept cookies?
Well, maybe this is how they're getting around that. They're like, you're willingly giving us that.
I guess. Maybe you have to upload your search history or something. Maybe,
something
like willingly.
That.
Like,
well, that is a lie. Then,
yeah, you're like,
no one's gonna
go ahead and take out all this ebony porn.
Yeah, I'm gonna take out all this fucking
crazy
midget
fleshlights.com. Remove that. Guys, well, this is coming out after the 4th, but happy 4th of July.
Yes.
In arrear. And happy 9th of July or whatever date it is that this is coming. Mm-hmm. And we will see you next week. Follow us on Instagram and YouTube, Doom Scroll Diaries Podcast.
May_Planert.
Laura Sogar. Go see May at the Melody Tent.
Yes, see me at the Melody Tent on July 10th.
Wow, I know your schedule.
Well, it's like the only fucking thing I've been promoting for months.
Like July 10th, it's almost here.
Yeah. It's also my birthday, so wish me a happy birthday.
Wait, your birthday is the same day as the Melody Tent then?
Yes.
Wow.
I know. And then, so yeah, do that. Come out and see us. I'm opening for Mark, so it will be a good show because Mark will be on it.
Mark is good at stand-up comedy.
And yeah, I think that's all I have to promote.
Watch my Don't Tell special. Oh, yeah. Share it with your friends. Leave a nice comment. Tell me I have pretty hair in it. Would be great. Not that I'm funny. That's up to you. But the hair.
The hair
would
is
like that.
Objectively good.
Hopefully. Well, it's up to you guys to decide.
Good luck.
But we'll see you next week. Bye.
Yeah, bye.